The Raptors 905 kicked off their season against Grand Rapids, and it didn't really end well. 112-106 the final. Welcome back to Raptors Today. Randy Urban alongside Meghan McPeak, the voice of the 905. Meghan, what happened last night?
I think fans, Randy, need to keep in perspective. It's game one of a 50-game season. And although defensively they had a lot of lapses, not just the perimeter, three-point shooting, they allowed Grand Rapids to get up 30-plus shots from the three-point line. And that defensively you can't really be doing, especially when you allow them to shoot nearly 50% from long range. That's going to be tough throughout the season. But defensively, a lot of lapses, allowing guys to get into the paint. Although you've got Eddie Tavares, mounting your defense, you don't want to allow them to have to get into the perimeter. So defense is going to be key. But again, it's game one of 50. They've got a lot of work to do, and they're going to right the ship very easily. Lorenzo
Brown, one of the Raptors' two-way players, had an outstanding game, 20-plus points. 5 steals, 8 assists. What was this guy not doing last night?
That's what he's been brought here to do. And he's a veteran leader. He's got the veteran leadership. He's the older statesman on the team. And that's what he does. He can score, he can slash, but he can also defend. If they're going to get 24, 8, and 5 from him on a nightly basis, that is going to be very good for Coach Stackhouse and the 905. But as well, too, if you can get him going defensively, he might be the spark that is needed defensively to get the rest of the guys going. If you can team him up with Eddie Tavares, the two of those guys defensively, that could be a nightmare.
Well, the Raptors' home opener goes November 8th. That's a Wednesday at the Hershey Center. Preview that matchup. It's against the Long Island Nets. What is the key matchup of that game?
For me, I'm looking at the point guard, Isaiah Whitehead for the Long Island Nets. He's one of their two-way players. And for the 905, Davion Berry. He's returning, was here in year one with Coach Mermis. He's back with the 905. I'm liking that matchup. Very similar play. They're both very much an attack-first point guard. They both can get the perimeter going. From the long range, they can also attack and dish. I think defensively it's going to be a really great matchup because they both lock in defensively. Davion Berry, though, I like what he has to bring to this 905 team. Defensively, offensively, he's going to be the way that this team goes on both ends of the floor. You match him up with Lorenzo Brown in the two-guard matchup, it can be killer.
Friday night, they go against Fort Wayne Mad Ants. What's the key matchup for that game?
I'm looking in the post in that. Kennedy Meeks, he's moved from the 5 to the 4. He's going to have to guard guys that are going to be, outside, extending the range, extending the floor for their team. And I'm looking at him versus CJ Fair. CJ Fair can hit that, 8 to 10 footer. He can hit it from the corner, 45 extended as well, too. So for Kennedy Meeks, this is going to be a big matchup for him defensively to see how he can contest with guys that are going to extend the floor for their teams. Can he be a guy that, extends the floor, but then also, too, can come back in the paint and tie up with Eddie Tavares? This is going to be a big matchup for him to see if he can make that transition from 4 to 5 and how good he's going to be.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Canadian kids on the team. They've got three guys from Canada on this squad. How are they doing? I mean, I think Aaron Best had 17 points in game one?
In game one, in their opener for the season against Grand Rapids, the 3 Canadians in Best, Keane, and Amarty combined for 35 points. You got 17 and 11 from Best and Keane respectfully, and then, from Best and Amarty, and then you add in Keane, who also is another point guard and a good defender. He throws in 7 points as well, too. If you can consistently get this kind of production from the three out of the 4 Canadians on the roster, you are going to have a great showing on the Canadian side.
When we talked to Stackhouse before the game, he said that Best was the most impressive rookie at camp so far, and he would take 10 of that guy. So if you want to watch him and the rest of the 905, be sure to tune in. Watch Meghan McPeak, Gareth Wheeler, and Akil Augustine, 7 p.m. tip-off at the Hershey Center on Wednesday.